Hey, everybody, this is Earl Flamata here again, the head of sales over at the Cryptopolitan, and today's guest is Mudit from BackD. Mudit, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me over, man.
Hey, thank you for joining the show. I love the background and the lighting. It's cooler than my green screen here. So, anyways, so yeah, why don't we just jump right into it?
For sure.
In layman's terms, so just in simple, I know that sometimes we get into the weeds here and we get a little nerdy, but for just a regular Joe, tell us about your product or your project.
For sure. So basically, we are building, we call backed, and we are building a set of stable coins that
Okay.
are not USD backed, that are not USD pegged, but that are backed by the currencies of BRICS nations. So we are building
Oh,
alternate to USD stable coins and allowing people to divest away from USD and USD based stable coins to
nice.
more emerging economy stable coins, which are poised for higher growth. And amongst those, we're looking at BRICS nations to sort of create stable coins for.
Fantastic. So I have a question. I made a bunch of money back in the day as a Forex trader and trading back and forth between the currencies. Do the stable coins in the BRICS arena allow people to speculate between those things and trade stable coins?
Absolutely. So I mean, one of the biggest use cases that we're working on chain is definitely decentralized forex markets,
Oh,
which
cool.
are much faster, which are better settlements, which are
Hmm.
live 24/7. Um, and can provide you much more liquidity, can sort of even the regular non-forex traders, people who are unlike yourself, not much experience with forex, can actually
Okay.
come in and pool in their liquidity into simple AMM pools, right,
I love
and
it.
make small money because of all the trades that happen via the smart contracts and the pools. Yeah,
That's so cool. So you don't have to even think. You just put it in the pool and you just make. I mean, it's not
absolutely.
big money, but it's better than sitting there doing nothing, right? So that's cool.
And 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 more than that, it doesn't face any of the impermanent loss that you would face when you're dealing with other volatile crypto assets. Let's say if you're trading, a volatile crypto asset with a stable coin, then you would still face an impermanent loss, right? And
Mhm.
probably a lot of slippage as well. But here, that probably is not the case. So yeah, that's another
Gotcha.
advantage.
So tell me about the stable coins. What are the gas fees like? What's the differentiation between like a USDC and like what you're building?
So I think the differentiator is not the gas fee or the tech per se. It is more the narrative. It is more the entire outlook. So we imagine the world is going to be much more multipolar going forward, and
Mhm.
not going to be dominated by USD as a singular reserve currency, a singular currency for trade,
Yes.
singular currency for funding, for investment. So I think the world is going to be gradually de-dollarized and very multipolar. So we are basically building
Mm.
assets, digital assets, to support that future, to support a
That makes
world,
sense.
an economy which is much more multipolar. So I think that is our key differentiator, and not a lot of things on the tech side. Of course, we've got we're building a decentralized forex market which has not been seen before, which is different from
Mhm.
anything that you would see on chain. But yeah, I mean, those things kept aside, I think our core achievement, core feat is basically building emerging economies, stable coins.
That's really cool. And this is why I ask in the beginning in layman's terms. Let's explain it really simply, and then we just dive right in and we just nerd out. I love it. So that's fantastic. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, with the tech and with all the stuff and all the different pieces of the puzzle that you're building, I mean, there's lots to be excited about. But if you could pick like one or two things that you're most excited about for your project in the near future, what would those be?
So we're basically, in process of getting a license to issue a dirham-backed stablecoin out of the
Okay.
UAE. So I think
Oh,
that's the
cool.
most exciting thing we're looking at. So the first stablecoin that we're actually releasing is, as I mentioned, a dirham and AD-backed stablecoin.
Okay.
Following that, we're looking at an INR-based stablecoin out of India, and
Neat.
after that, we're looking at a Russian ruble. So I think the first two are most interesting and
Mhm.
expected in the early future. So
So
a
here's
dirham back
here's a
stablecoin,
question.
and yeah,
Here's a question. So I'm Filipino. Our biggest export is people, right? So we just ship people to
absolutely.
different countries to be nurses and stuff, right?
I
And then
think
what they do,
Philippines is probably the biggest, one of the biggest inward remittances in the entire world after India. So I think
yeah,
biggest amount
exactly.
of money that, yeah.
Months amount. So what I'm excited about is like, so for the Filipinos out there, I mean, eventually maybe you'll look towards a stable coin in that sector. Would we be able to send money home easier and faster and cheaper if that were the case?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest use cases also that we're looking at apart
Mm,
from, so that is the use case for regular non-crypto traders. For example, the
right.
Forex, game that we were discussing, I think that's more for crypto traders and people who are in the Web3 space,
Yes.
doing things on chain. But I think a lot of use cases exist in cross-border remittances and inward remittances,
Mm,
especially for countries like Philippines, for countries like India. I think these countries which basically send out a lot of people outside to
yes.
work in emerging nations and sort of bring back a lot of money back to their home
Mhm.
countries, being one of the biggest receivers of inward remittances. One of the biggest use cases I think is for such countries and such economies and such people.
I think because it's based on the stable coin and you're using it from that perspective, there's less like Forex fees back and forth, right? I mean, because if I'm going stable
Absolutely.
coin to stable coin, it's not as expensive. There's the banks are taking their pound of flesh out of me, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were doing a lot of research. I think, your regular wire transfers can cost you, I mean, if you are in Philippines or India, it is still cheaper than what you would expect from, countries which don't have so much of inward remittances, but still to the tune of 10 to 15% of your value transfer, right? Which is
Right.
crazy. Here you can do it in less than a percent or probably less than 0.1%
Right,
of
and
the
that's why I
value.
was saying the gas fees would be interesting, right? So because
Yeah, yeah.
I deal with multiple businesses across the world, and sending money as a remittance is kind of a pain in the butt. I can't believe how big of an industry it is, right? So that's a really cool feature about what you're doing. So you're doing some good work for the world, my friend. I think that this is going to be
Thanks, man.
some interesting tech that people will actually definitely use. I'm enjoying these interview series because I'm noticing a kind of a maturity in the market, right? Before it was a bunch of meme coins and notice, what's the utility for this thing? Nothing. Right? There's a dog on it, and now like you're telling me that there's stable coins and other currencies that's going to make a crypto forex market, and then people will be able to remit easier. I mean, that's magic, right? Like that's there's some real finance magic in these things, right? That's really
For
cool.
sure.
Well, when you're not saving the world, what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun?
um, so I love reading a lot of philosophy. So
Oh
I
yeah.
that's something I spend a lot of my time on. Some meditation, some philosophy. Apart from that, I love engaging myself in music. So a lot of listening to music, a lot of playing some music.
Oh, that's so
I'm an
cool.
amateur guitarist. I play some classical instruments as well, some Indian classical instruments. I play the flute. I play a couple of keyboards, some drums. So I spend some of my time on pursuing music for myself, and yeah, I think that's pretty much two of my major
That's neat
things
though,
that
man.
take my time.
You're a bit of a modern Renaissance man. Then you got the music, you got the reading, you got the philosophy. I'm a fan of Aurelius, right? So I really like the Stoicism kind of stuff. So that jives me. And since I'm Asian, they beat me until I played piano, so I can play piano now. So
Oh, nice.
at least they give you an option, right? The guitar is cool, right? Like a guitar, I mean, you can still bring to the beach and impress the girls, right? Like, it's really hard to lift the piano, right? It's just
For
so
sure.
so there you go. That's really cool. So you play some instruments, you listen to a lot of instruments, and you read a lot of cool stuff. That
Yeah.
makes for an interesting life, right? You must be a fun guy to talk to at the party, right? So
Sort of. I mean, when the drinks are not too down, definitely yes. But thereafter it becomes hard.
oh, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's harder to play it. If you drink too much, then it's harder to play the instrument, right? So yeah.
For sure.
Cool, man. Well, okay. Well, that's a really interesting slice of life there. The last part of
Hmm.
the interview, it's a pretty quick interview, right? I mean, we went pretty deep already. Like we're talking about forex remittance and changing the world, and we got into there
For
in like
sure.
3 minutes. But the next part really is give the viewership a reason to reach out to you. Like, so we talked about some of these stable coins. Are these launched already? Are they about to be launched? Where are you in the process?
So we are about to launch the dirham-backed stablecoin. We are already in a waitlist process. So we are inviting a lot of people to join the waitlist to sort of
Hmm.
come on board and partner with us. If you are a retailer who wants to divest away from your USDTs and USDCs and sort of take a share of your savings in a dirham-backed stablecoin, right? Then you can reach out. Or if you're a business or an exchange or or an ODC desk, or even an online store that is looking to integrate more interesting payment options for your platforms, then
Yes.
definitely reach out. We can integrate the AD based stablecoin that we're building into your systems, and increase the amount of payment options, and increase the sort of improve the user experience for your customers. And that's it. We are looking for people to join our community. Apart from this, happy to have people on board onto our Twitters. We'll post some links also of our channels. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at.
Awesome. So Twitter's the main channel, X is the main channel that you want people to come
Uh,
find you on?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll grab your Twitter and X information. We'll throw it into the thing here for the description under the video. So for those of you looking to connect with the project, the community, and everything, we're looking forward to following you on Twitter and seeing you how that plans out. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how your launch goes with the tokens and
Thank you so
the
much.
with the different the different asset backed tokens. So it's not just your plain old USDT USDC anymore. So that's really
For
cool,
sure.
and I love the change that you're making. And yeah, I think this would be really good for the communities, like you said, the Philippines, the India, who send money home. That's a real cool, even like off chain, not no fancy, interchange stuff, craziness, right? It's just I want to send money home, and
Absolutely.
yeah, the gas fee for doing that is cheaper than the wire fee for doing that. So I think there's some good fintech magic in there too.
For sure.
All right. Any parting words of wisdom for us?
Not really. I think the one thing that I've been pondering quite a bit while I've been working on this is the fact that the global geopolitical stage is changing very rapidly, and there's a lot of geopolitical shifts that are happening, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
realignments, rearrangements happening in the the global stage, which I think a lot of folks are missing on. So I think I would encourage people to just know how things are shaping up globally, and probably sort of adapt to that change, keep up with that change, right? And
Mm-hmm.
sort of bank on your economies, bank on your countries, and yeah,
No,
um,
I like that. I like that. Like you're giving people more options as to which stablecoin they're basing their funding in, and and
absolutely,
giving people more options. You're expanding the world. So I think that's a cool thing. So
for sure.
all right, well, Mudit,
All right, man,
I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so much, and looking forward to your launches. So keep us in touch. I'll definitely follow you on Twitter, and everybody else. I encourage you to follow him and check this out. Thanks again.
for sure. Thanks for having me over. Yeah, cheers.